afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, riveting, amazing Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero, Psych Defender of the Fatherland. Off here to an exciting 1 versus 1 on Langraskaya. In the north, we got Luciano fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland, taking on the role here of the Panzerdivision with defensive lightning wall and German infantry with Panzerfaust and tank and infantry bulletins versus in the south, it's Nerbo. Fighting for America, freedom, democracy. The 6th Armoured Division here with Armor Company, with machine gun Stewart and Packard bulletins. Assault units right on the way here, as is very much what most players will do now, thanks to the change of the Armor Company. Grenadier MB42 here for Luciano as the Panzerlehr swiftly moves out to secure the territory, occupy the farmhouses, and get ready for the American assault. A rifleman moving up here for Nerbo, swiftly scanning through the countryside to scout for any Germans. Spotting so far, no sign of anything there. Looks like Nerbo, by the way, is aiming for a disruptive opening versus the German players, while the Americans are more suited for it. You still don't see it a lot from American players, to be honest. Most will just, secure territory, that's it. Otherwise, it's the Oberkommando West. You tend to see the more disruptive opening for much more consistently, but you can do it as the American to an extent. Feels like what's Nerbo doing to at least some degree here versus Luciano. Grenadiers moving up the east side, Pioneers here, and the MD43 in the centre. Trying to set up a defensive line here with the Pioneers basically up the centre with machine gun Grenadiers acting as the anchor points. Of course, if the Pioneers then get assaulted, things might get a bit sticky. Second soldier squad out here for Nerbo. Machine gun out to deal with the troops trying to push through the centre there. So far, not too point there. Goes soldiers holded by the MD42 suppressed. Very nice work there by Luciano. Rifleman versus Pioneers here. Grenadiers securing the fuel point there in the east. As Nerbo's hard work in the west as well with the rear echelons. Assault units trying to get past the MB42, looks like they might be able to do so. Grenadier squad number 2 is moving in to assist here, getting sticky, and in the south we got the assault unit squad number 2 moving up from Nerbo to try and push the machine gun from that side. Lots of intense engagement here, MD forcing up to keep the rifle inside the house here. Grenadiers dealing with the assault units here at least slowly, and the other squad was moving up as well here. It could cause problems on Luciano's left flank here. Assault units need to retreat, by the way. MD4 turning about, but that means the rifle inside the house could rush the MD42 from the other side, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Plus, they're going to just get right over the assault, just causing a total collapse here of Luciano's center or left flank, whatever you want to kind of call it, depending on how things are situated. As the leads on the Grenadiers and the Pioneers to the far right, and well, they're up against rifle assault units, basically meaning Luciano is very much outgunned here by Nerbo. Grenadiers quickly being pushed into the fight. Luciano does not waste a moment there. Might be going for more Grenadiers on another MD42. I mean, 2 MD42s versus this kind of build would not be bad at all. Luciano in the set opts for the sniper for a war of attrition against Nerbo, who I believe is already taking up here. There we go, platoon command post, getting the lieutenant on the way there. Grenadiers moving for the assault units, Pioneers right here with the rifleman, and we got the MD42 setting up here. Intense action happening all across the front here, as Nerbo is just going in as hard as possible and kicking in doors. MD42, they're slowly bleeding out. Grenadiers holding up here. In the west, we got the reasons moving up. Sniper almost down there for Luciano and the Panzerdivision. And there you go. I'm going to flank the MD42 here. Already low on health. The assault is basically destroying their attention, allowing Nerbo's rifle to flank them. Snipers opening up there on the flanking rifle. Will not be able to stop the MD42 from retreating, but well, at least prevent Nerbo from keeping those rifles around in the front line for much longer. Grenadier squad number 2 right here in the face of the assault units, now upgraded with flamethrowers. Nerbo's assaults are just relentless. Luciano here is going for the lightning wall, possibly just for the G4 division of the Grenadiers. There might be something else being planned here by Luciano in the longer term. My apologies there. Grenadiers about here, no tech yet for Luciano, understandably enough. More Grenadiers on another MD14 could quite help there versus Nerbo. Then again, he might just have to take up fast. Other way, Nerbo hitting as hard as possible at the resource points, trying to cut off. Also noting mines being laid down here. Luciano starting moving up, and in feet tries, I mean, it could hit the mine, and that'd be quite painful there for Luciano. Machine gun in the centre, Grenadiers in the west, Pioneers in the centre. Luciano preparing here for a brutal counter-attack as he just pushes his men ahead no matter the course, and the sniper barely dodges the man. That was really close there for Luciano. Lieutenant pushing up through the centre here. Nerbo ratcheting up the tension in the west here. Grenadiers versus rear echelons. Charging out the rear echelons. The rear echelons might actually have a small chance here with up close plus getting some free shots there essentially. Pioneers easily dispatched by the lieutenant. More Grenadiers there for Luciano. And the Panzerdivision with the mortar almost down there for Nerbo. Almost down here. Grenadiers barely overcome. Well, Grenadier barely overcomes the reactions. The rest are dead. And then again, the MU42 just a nick of time, man, to stop here Nerbo's lieutenant flank. I mean, it's a really serious close call here for Luciano at the moment versus Nerbo. As Nerbo is just keeping up the pressure. In the south, more soldiers moving up, backed up by mortar this time. They smoke Shinzano and Bart. Any machine gun positions, very good there by Nerbo. Well, let me see if he goes for Stewart. So I don't think that looks like there might be. In fact, when he has the bulletins, he's got the tech. So, I mean, very likely he's going to go for the student maximum. Try and start there again. MB42 almost dead. Sniper there with 3 kills. The intensity of the early game continues here. Grenadiers survive. A bit lucky, yes, this soldier is not close in further. And there goes Stewart light tank on the way for Nerbo. Both the soldiers scored by upgraded flames, which make it very hard there for Luciano to any place. And mortar rounds going to land down. It's only a high line to Luciano. He needs to be a bit more careful about staying around in one spot. Nice work by the way so far on the machine gun. Already gained victory too. Part of this, of course, is Luciano being very flexible with his machine gun. He doesn't just leave it in the house and, you know, decides that's enough. He keeps it shifting about here and there, which in part, of course, means he can sort of get it where he needs it, but also makes it harder for Nerbo to just deal with it by just, you know, pulling off a good flank. There's a lot of advantage tacting about your support weapon. In particular, I would say good MD42 usage, I would say, is a hallmark of a good Wehrmacht player. Generally, good machine gun usage is just the hallmark of any good player. Stewart light tank almost down there for Nerbo. Troops reinforcing. No healing here for Nerbo. He's just on the offense. He's got that rush for freedom. Gonna use they called out in the open ground victory point here so far. Nerbo has a time lead here with Luciano. We'll have to see how much longer it lasts. Luciano is just trying to push as fast as possible, knowing he's probably going to be pushed back anytime soon, but still, that means Nerbo has to spend more time just grabbing back what is his. It gives Luciano maybe more time to prepare a counter-attack. We have one Telemine down here, which could catch us doing there. Go. Bit of cheesy play there with his sandbags to slow down the student, prevent him from just rushing down the sniper. Gonna do something back in the MG4 at least here in this case, probably because he realised he can't do much with it anyways. And they at least want to try and maybe stall Nerbo, so this is one of the situations where he can get away with it, but even then he doesn't stay for long. Panzerfaust on the student side of the base, sniper out of range. Moving out the far west there with the Grenadier squad. No G43s yet over this Grenadiers. You'd figure that there's all these riflemen and other things, but so far not some of that. And we could see the squad out wipe on the retreat by the Stewart. Oh dear, bad news there for Luciano. A win there for Nerbo for democracy. 6th armor day on the rampage as the Panzer there. Panzer Sean definitely caught in a bit of an off spot. Back here, troops reinforcing for Nerbo. In the west, we got the assault moving up to the Grenadiers. There's the assault moving up, and then going to send the armor piercing rounds there versus the Stewart light tank tearing through the rear armor. Almost taking it out there. Sniper moving up. Back here, troops good to go. Like to make a nice company ready. Pack 40 is likely going to be Luciano goes for right away. Stewart waggling out of there. The eastern season eastern point assaults going to flank the MD42 there. Luciano is very much struggling here to contain Nerbo's sheer aggression. And there you go, routing the MG42 in a matter of seconds in the end. Luciano is struggling to gain much traction here versus the American army. As Nerbo, of course, is doing what he can to keep Luciano wrong-footed. Back 40 moving up, and certainly I think Luciano at some point should consider a second MG42 since that would help a lot with these kind of aggressive tactics. More mines up even Nerbo, more aggressive mines, really nice to see that. And mines up there as well. Nerbo is absolutely on the ball with these mines. Thumbs up to Nerbo for that one. But I'm sure Luciano might disagree with that assessment. But that's kind of part of the job description. Ambulance there finally available here for Nerbo. But an absolutely riveting early game here between Nerbo and Luciano. Top tier stuff, or top shelf stuff maybe. Be a better way to put it. Assault moving up here. Turning push back, got the student moving up here again for Nerbo. Mortifying fire there. Grenadiers taking minor casualties, pushing straight ahead against the Stewart. Pack 40 opening up. There you go, nice hit on the Stewart light tank. Could be a problem there for Nerbo if he's not careful. Mortar gains veterans in 1. Rifle moving up. In the west there, we got the soldiers laying down more mines. Nerbo is absolutely not missing a beat there with the mines against Luciano. As for Luciano, more Grenadiers. Could have considered Panzer Grenadiers, but then again, Grenadiers with G43s can also do the trick. Back in Nerbo's base, healing reinforcement. No sign of anything further happening there for now. Got the vehicle crew there with the elite vehicle crew training course, means they can repair faster, gain veterans faster. Of course, they have Thompsons if they do have to fight on foot. Grenadiers flanking up, and oh, they're going to be hitting a mine. They could even technically retreat into another mine with a bit of bad luck. Now in this case, Jurgen took one for the team, literally, and died from it. Stuart moving up, or Sniper moving up there. Half A to Veterinary 2. MD42 half A to Veterinary 3 again. He constantly shifts about. They constantly using to support in primary engagements, which is kind of how the MD40 was meant to be used. Even the Hailing Machine was actually meant more as, to support them during attacks, could also of course be used to defense. But it was, again, a sort of core weapon. So using it all, actively around, just having it back, and, in one spot all the time is a much stronger usage of it. Note he also does this a lot with the Pack 40. He's very actually shifting about the Pack 40 again. He's not just deciding, it's just there. It's a constant roaming weapon. Sort of backing up his troops, and of course make it harder for Nerbo to predict where it is. MD40 they need to retreat though, risking getting flanked, but decides to keep it around for a bit longer. Nice pack here on the Stuart. Gonna do his routing in the centre. Stuart there, be careful. Another hit there, Sniper with 12 kills. Back at base, no further takeaway yet from Nerbo. Those a bit short on manpower for that. Going for a 50 cal machine gun to that way keep Luciano's troops pinned to the ground, hitting victory points, hitting fuel points. Pretty close between the two in terms of victory points, despite all the aggression and back and forth. Now they're playing action, of course, has yet to gain a significant lead. And there you go. Nerbo's just pushing that fuel edge, though of course he also needs to be able to actually use it. So we're interested to see if he can. Otherwise, Luciano does have the option of actually catching up, maybe get out of tanks first, depending on how things go. Sniper inches away from the mine. It's just like, whew. And if Luciano watches this, I mean, he must be feeling a bit, relieved or somehow a bit frightened with all these incredibly close encounters with the mines that somehow no way resulted in him just having his sniper's face blown off. Lieutenant pushing up with the Soldiers pushing up. Then nice strong push up in the east. Center's also seeing a push in the west. That is where Luciano's pushing. Machine gun setting up to help defend there against the central east push here by Nerbo. Oh, Soldiers could have, I think, got a bit out of the arc of fire there. Mortar ring down. Soldiers suppressed. Fuel point reconnected to Luciano's supply line. Lieutenant there about to get wiped out. Not good there for Nerbo. Great though for Luciano. And there you go. Ace MD42 crew ready here for Luciano. For the Wehrmacht, the Panzerlehr. Shredding the assault units. Lieutenant there cut down in his prime by the Grenadiers. In the west, a bit more movement. We got another Stuart out here for Luciano. Managed to avoid the mines and retreat as well. Good God, he's lucky with those mines. And the 5th Cav for some reason was rushed up. It looks like Nerbo wasn't quite paying attention, resulting in... Ooh, that is pretty bad there for Nerbo. That is a definite unfortunate development. Fortunate for him though, Luciano can't actually seize it, and so of course to avoid handing out to his enemies, just destroying it. But I mean, for Nerbo, it's better to have it destroyed than his opponent using it against him, since the 50 caliber could be a real problem there for Nerbo. On top of the MD42, which Luciano's also shown himself being really good at. He tried to smoke in time to prevent this happening, but sadly was not fast enough. Not a bad idea though by Nerbo. Not a bad idea. I just kind of figured he would use smoke a bit more than just for that. It supports attacks much better here versus Luciano. Still, Luciano is keeping it up. He is not losing a beat. But now Nerbo needs to be a bit more careful. I do believe he's taking up as well there. Yes, indeed. And Luciano's got the same going. In fact, he's a bit done faster, so that's good for Luciano. He might just be able to edge ahead here with the tank, since Nerbo is a bit slow there. Probably due to being too focused on his aggressive plays. He is slightly missing the opportunity to maybe just rush out medium armor a bit faster. Gonna use for the center, big push, more to bypassed. Again, this is where the 50 caliber could have been, fought useful, but sadly again, Nerbo kind of threw that one away. Assault units there, catching the Grenadiers there in a rather uncomfortable position. Victory points wise, Luciano does have the slight lead over Nerbo here. Sniper continues to kill away, and we got Minesweepers out here finally for Luciano. And of course, he will then discover he was really close to hitting some mines a lot of the time, most likely. Major out. He can soon go for a Sherman, and probably should consider Sherman. The faster he can get a tank versus Luciano, the better. And of course, he could try installing for a Jackson or something else, but
the enemy is taking our territory.
my advice would be a Sherman tank. In the centre, Rifle's Grenadiers. Bit of a skirmish there. Looking at the west side again. Note by the way, both players are very good at putting pressure on the sides, not just focusing on the centre where they just try to beat each other into submission. Thumbs up there. More mortar fire here, machine gun almost taken out by a mortar hit. Closing eventually 2 assault units charging up through the centre. In the west, assault units versus pioneers, flamethrower versus flamethrower. The assault units, they all have the advantage due to more experience and, more men. Just, being a slightly better unit overall. And before they to stop, the assault units in the centre. Oh no, they have to reload. Oh, never mind. Sniper there closing in on veteran 3 pioneers barracks in the east, storming about here. Half 8 to veteran 2. Almost got the MD-42 there. Close one here for Nerbo and Luciano, but not quite. Can go for the Sherman now. Could also go for the M10, but that'd be a bit silly. I think it's just a fast Sherman who would be the best versus Luciano, who's actually pushing for the Panzer IV. Of course, there's the option of the Jackson tank destroyer, but I don't know, I think the Sherman would just be better in terms of his cost resource, cost benefit. And there you go. He does go for the Sherman as well, so both players going for medium tanks. I mean, you can always easily just fill up with a tank. Oh! Telemine finally went off. I've forgotten about that one. Of course, the Telemine hadn't forgotten it existed and blew up the steward. Very good work there. Mine goes off here. Lots of mines exploding on both sides. Also, fun fact about the Telemine, it's actually a very sort of, shall we say, high utility mine. It was designated as an anti-tank mine, but it could also be set up like a demolition charge and be detonated remotely. And for example, the Germans used that to, blow up infantry assaults on the Eastern Front, for example. So, little fun fact there. That's kaboom. Troops making their way back here. Sherman almost down there for Nerbo. Panzer IV, those around here for Luciano, and the Panzer to be short. Now we're beginning to float a bit more munitions, not so many mines going down there. They should probably keep that up, but I might want having to consider getting up some bars on his infantry, though he has lost a lot. But at least replace some of the lieutenant there. But getting out some bars, I think, very helpful there. And Minesweeper was up there as well. He obviously doesn't want to hit any more telemines, if possible, which is a very understandable concern. Smoking off here to corrupt the machine gun. Showing ahead, and it's firing high explosive rounds, which really doesn't do anything against the Panzer IV, which causes a bit of an unfortunate development here for Nerbo's tank, so he has to quickly switch back, and these clearsons routed. Decent hit there, sniper very close to veteran 3. Troops in reinforcing. Interesting the way he's doing it here, I think, is to avoid basically what happens is he's trying to get close to the base. They'll actually run into the base. It can take much longer to actually get them to reinforce and all that. Whereas here, they just get it done. Of course, you do slow down the reinforcement speed, but I think just in terms of convenience and all that, it tends to work out better just to have it like that, because you can just avoid they sort of getting a bit weird as they close in on the edges of the American base. In that regard, the design is a bit wonk. Showing here's the Panzer IV. That's going to be a really close one, by the way. There he gets off the remaining Panzer. Pack 40 shoots, doesn't, and the Sherman gets the Panzer IV. Big win there from Nerbo. I just need to pull back the Sherman for full repairs. Up here, troops in reinforcing. No additional armor there so far yet for Luciano in the east. Movement up here. Nerbo could soon consider going for another Sherman and just push for an armored advantage that way. And looks like we do get more mines from Nerbo. Wonderful. Unless you're Luciano, in which case you're probably going a bit more scheisse. Rather than not fully reinforced, need to quickly edge them a bit back. Sherman repairing somewhat close to the front line there. It looks like we got Luciano moving ahead here with a significant infantry force. Pack 40 back and before to in the centre. Machine gun this time running a bit more steadily. He's moving out a lot of other elements. Going to be coming up the right flank, at least somewhat secure. Luciano looking in a much better position in light of a more steady play. Just waiting and binding his terminals and then make the pushes he wants to do. Grenadier is almost taking up the assault units in these 8 assault units up. Pack 40 is moving westwards there to support here. Probably anticipating the opponent's armour is going to be moving around there. Not a bad idea there. Anticipation there by Luciano. That's exactly what Nerbo does. And of course, Nerbo sensing this tank alone. Possibly not expecting that Luciano moves anti-tank so quickly towards the west. It's hard to say, but there you go. It's going to get hammered here. Panzer fast off as well. Damaged engine. And right in front of the Pack 40. This is a horrid development there for Nerbo. We should at least send some infantry first to scout ahead before rushing in. And there you go. Sherman Almost down. And there you go. Abandon at that. Oh dear. Bet you 2 Pack 40 up there for Luciano, who's got a second Pack 40 up. Might be stalling for the Tiger tank. Nabs the abandoned Sherman tank. Rifling up. They're coming under fire. The high close rounds already loaded, courtesy of the US Army. Immediately obliterates Rifleman and an assault engineer. He's of course quick moving the Pack 40s elsewhere. Sherman's likely going to go down, but even then done a bit of damage there. 2 Nerbo and forced him to, expend an anti-tank grenade of his own to take out his own tank. Another Sherman on the way there for Nerbo. Pack 40's back at base for now. Pioneers moving up here on the west side. Heading eastern fuel point. Nice work there by Nerbo. But this has definitely been quite an intense match here so far. Very few dull moments, if any, at least. Back here, troops healing reinforcing there for Luciano. Tottenham is routed by the Grenadiers. Die Grenadiere. There. Got this one, you're sweeping westwards. Rather being routed here by the Grenadiers in the west.
Tank support is here. Sherman ready.
Sherman out for Nerbo. Pearson moving towards the victory point in the east. Sherman sending out troops in reinforcing. Sniper with 31 kills. Sherman rushing straight ahead here. Pack 40's moving up. Careful, Nerbo. Careful. You're about to make the same mistake you did last time, except a bit more aggressive. There goes straight to double. Pack 40's here. Seemingly again underestimating Luciano's ability to just keep the anti-tank that's moving. And just, a bit harder here for Nerbo to protect with there. There you go. Immediately loses the second Sherman. That is a big throw there by Nerbo. Definitely not good. It does hard. He might be getting into a bit more reckless territory. He probably should be playing a bit more combined arms, orienting the units so supporting each other a bit better. And in this case, just getting completely blown out there by Luciano's pack handling. Of course, he quickly moves them back. He is very deft at moving about his support teams alongside his infantry. Machine gun moving up here with Grenadiers and Pioneers. Well, mostly Pioneers, actually. Nerbo with the second 50 caliber this time, though, again, almost in the same spot as the first one got killed. He needs to be much more careful about that, obviously. I'd have to see what Nerbo ends up with next here versus Luciano, who is, I think, steadily pacing himself towards the Tiger tank. And by the way Nerbo is basically throwing away his tanks, he might just be able to work it out. I mean, Nerbo's now lost 2 Shermans. Luciano did get a tank up before trying to go for the Tiger tank, and while Luciano did lose one. Our mirror rules show so he balances sort of forces in more in his favour, so Nerbo needs to pull up some. Oh, he did get the sniper. That's actually pretty big there for Nerbo. He annihilated the ace sniper. Luciano was replacing it because, well, first sniper worked out so well. I should than the second one. Which, I mean, does make sense. Staying up behind the Grenadiers with the assault engineers. Grenadiers, they're quickly getting wiped out. In fact, they're quickly taking a ton of damage. Can he finish the job here, or will the last Grenadier get away? Oh! Hit a mine! Full wipe then, Luciano. That is 2 wipes in a short amount of time. That's going to really basically close the gap there between the two. Since now Luciano is much shorter in infantry and anything else, of course, is getting the sniper. We'll have to see what Nerbo decides to do next. But still getting rid of an ace Grenadier squad with a light machine gun and an ace sniper is big for Nerbo. So Luciano's doing a better job now denying Nerbo his fuel as well. That's very good. Means he can slightly more safe to go for the Titan without having to be worried about swarmed. And it will be interesting to see if Nerbo's actually anticipating Luciano's stalling for a Tiger. I mean, you should see in the 2-pack 4, you should have seen there's no other tank on the moment. You should at least know there's a 1 Tiger Doctrine at least. So I'd be surprised if Nerbo's at not some point now starting to begin preparing for the possibility of a Tiger tank. He also needs S-mines up to make it a bit harder here for Nerbo to about freely. Very nice. Quick for the center stop there once more by Luciano's MG42. Very good work. There's some stopping up with the S-mines there. Nerbo still could do with more infantry. The lieutenant I still think would be a pretty great choice there for Nerbo. A few more mines would also be helpful here and there.
Combat engineers on the line.
And there you go. Goes from the 3rd assault engineer squad. I mean, that also works too. As you can see, they are pretty good. So don't fault him for just going for more of them. Trying to go for a flank here with his ace assault engineer squad. Interesting move there. Victory points whilst Luciano's got a much better lead. Luciano's got a much better lead over Nerbo here. And there you go. The assault is flanking in. But the sniper is proving to be a bit of a problem. And of course, signals to Nerbo that Luciano's gone for the second one. Tiger tank is not far off here for Luciano. Roughly a minute and a half here versus Nerbo. Grenadiers there versus the assault engineers. Burning, shooting, murdering, all going on there. Grabbing the eastern victory point. Snipe moving up here. And back end base, we got healing reinforcement there for Nerbo. Rifles 50 gun moving up, mortar hammering away. They're close to the A's level here for Nerbo. Seizing point here. Pinned down to the ground though. Fortune development. Support McCall remaining silent as Luciano's playing for the Tiger tank. Of course, once he's got the Tiger tank up, he can easily just pull in more armor to back up the Tiger, and probably should. Nerbo, I think, at this stage is preparing for a Jackson tank stop, with of course we're also just trying, relying a lot on M10s, but then again, maybe Jackson backed up by M10s could do the job here as the Tiger tank. Less than a minute away here for Luciano and the Tiger tank, the Tiga. Lots of mines, very good work, makes it hard for an to push through, but also makes it hard for tanks. I mean, the Tiger tank could find itself getting stuck at rather a lot of opportunities, which of course would be great for Nerbo's Jackson tank to store whatever tanks they might be aiming for. And there you go, big sweeping assault in the east, all of his ace infantry, the assault engineers and the riflemen force. Then there you go, Tiger tank finally to Luciano at the 26 minute and 30 seconds mark. More mines going down there for Nerbo. Tiger mobilized, pin map machine being added, great stuff there. Noting Luciano really hasn't done anything else with the doctrine except Tigers. We haven't seen Jaeger value for the upgrades, no tactical movements, no relief infantry, no air support. So, yeah, I feel like we could have better with the doctrine there. Compared to the Nerbo's, at least use some parts of it, though not a lot either. And there you go, Jackson on the way. Again, very most likely anticipating the arrival of the Tiger tank here from Luciano. Lots of mines being laid down here in the west side. Tiger tank there almost obliterating the assault engineers entirely, and likely could get the final kill here. Yup. Ace assault engineer squad, and they've gone the blink of an eye there for Nerbo. Jackson almost done here for Nerbo. Wrapping the next target for the Tiger tank. Hasn't finished those. Mines could do it, but again, so many mines in the west. So many mines. Luciano's lost his mines with the Pioneers, so this could actually work out pretty well. Depending on how Luciano plays out his Tiger and other armor he might get. But there you go. M36 Jackson finally arrives here for Nerbo, for the 6th Armoured, as the Panzerlehr just continues to murder away his infantry. 23 kills there. Pioneers on the west side to deal with the assault engineers there. Tiger tank spotted. We got the pack fortunate back up. The Tiger tank here. Nice work. And the Jackson there could find himself very much in the receiving end of a lot of anti-tank fire. Sonny's right, and there you go. Pack's opening up. The Jackson need to get out of there now, and even then it could be too late there, depending on how good things go. Got lucky there. I think actually the mortar absorbed the hit there from the Pack 40 for the Jackson, which is definitely lucky there for Nerbo. Victory points was Luciano remains in lead over Nerbo here with 314 versus 225. Troops are healing reinforcing. Mortar on the fire there from the Tiger tank. Luciano going for more Pioneers, most likely for more Minesweepers. He might be starting to get the suspicion that Nerbo's been laying down a lot more mines, which is exactly what he's been doing. He's afraid to attack it because if he hits a mine, that Tiger's going to be in a really bad spot. There you go, second Pioneer scored out and he immediately gets Minesweepers. I mean, we can very much imagine why. Still, Luciano's in a pretty good position. All I see with the Panzerlehr, Panzer shown. Recent amount of infantry, though he could still, I feel, get a third squad out. His Tiger tank, of course, remaining a nice nucleus there for his Kampfgruppe. Rifle tank direct here from the Tiger tank. Jackson returns to favour there, piercing the Tiger's heavy armour. As long as they're getting a bit blasted. Seizing the centre victory point. Lots of fire there. Jackson turns around and another penetrating at the Tiger, putting him down to half health. Pack 40s are hammering away there at the infantry. Almost taking out the assault engineers. At least the grenadiers are. But apparently one of the pack crews actually done some infantry killing, impressively enough. So we'll see what Nerbo goes for next. Will it be another Jackson? Or will it be the M10? Or a Sherman? Pioneers clearing out all the mountains, including the ones that Nerbo did not finish setting up.
We're losing a capture point.
Mortar shooting missing, pushing up the start of the echelons, but the Grenadiers are on watch and they are not letting anyone pass. Which enough, he's not responding to the rasp on the left side. And the fact that a lot of his mines are getting disarmed. Oh, straight to push it. Jackson that does get a shot bounced there by the Tiger tank. That was really close there for Nerbo. And that man for Luciano. Soldiers in the south versus the Grenadiers in negative cover, though they are easy targets for the Ace Grenadiers. They're easy targets. There you go, Pioneers routed, but mines have been spotted, at least in some degree dealt with. Mortar fire raining down in the Ace machine gun crew here in the east. Luciano remains on watch, and there go Grenadiers flanking up, sneaking up behind the mortar. Very nice work. Rifle grenading it. Hard to say that what Nerbo's planning, but it's starting to look like he could possibly consider a second Jackson tank destroyer. Luciano, meanwhile, probably should consider bringing up more armor. There you go, bringing in a Panther 4 to back up his target tank. Very good, say good, say good. And these companies bring about there. A slight dip in their health. Back here, troops in reinforcing. Nerbo setting up for the next big push. Pioneers on watch. There you go, going to move in and sweep with his mines again. And Tiger setting out. Nerbo, interesting, now going for a Scott. That is an interesting choice. And I imagine he wants more to deal with the support weapon, because the pack forwarders kept being sort of more easily dealt with the Scots. I still figure with the Tiger tank, consider more tank destroyers first. But we'll have to see how this works out. I mean, you could always let it quit as opposed to flop with the tank destroyer, or for the M10 kind. Shot fire there, missed the Tiger tank. Push for the centre, but there you go, stop by the MD42. Mortar not quite there to support immediately, at least not laying down supportive fire. Scott almost done there for Nerbo, almost done. Victory points wise, Luciano range to lead on Nerbo. Soldier is almost taken out by the Sniper Tiger combo. Eventually 2 there, 20 kills, very good, and gets wiped. Bad news there for Nerbo. Great though for Luciano, great for Luciano. The more wipes can get through at this stage of the game, the better. Scott though has arrived here for Nerbo. 5th cover that close being murdered. Ooh, Jackson misses the Panther 4 and the machine gun gets wiped. Things are steadily beginning to fall apart here for Nerbo now in the face of Luciano. Veterans 1 game only. Jackson tank destroyed on the West Scott moving up here. 5th cover being destroyed again. Luciano something none of that American Scheiße. I can't believe the fight this is crap. I'm sure he's screaming out. Panther being repaired. Gun is observing the repairs apparently. Jackson fixed up. Oh, Scott sniped the sniper. Oh dear. Another shot squad out there for Nerbo. So that's pretty good there for Nerbo. Less good for Luciano. There you go. Scott just murdering him. I mean, the Scott is really good at killing, infantry and support weapons. It is really good. If you get a pair of them out, they can really ruin your opponent's day. So, I mean, it's not a bad deal. But there you go. We got Luftwaffe support. Kanonenvogel shattering the side armor and the top armor of the Scott. And, of course, attack aircraft regularly rely more on the end of the top armor being weak. Okay. Now with the other armor. I need to pull back the Scott. He's not moving. He's not moving, you know. He's going to lose the Scott. All the Jacksons to the Luftwaffe if he's not careful. Probably should have that one repaired. 126 versus 314. There we go. Going to repairing here the Scott. Stuka Kanonenvogel flying away. Back here we got the heavy Panther going out there for Luciano. Not bad. Nerbo probably should be continuing M10 tank, so just back things up. Well, now the Scott just a bit more firepower here versus either the infantry support weapons or the armor. Scott not for repair, but he's committing it nonetheless. He was the Grenadiers, and oh, close one there. Veterans won already, 3 kills. Another close one, but again, not quite. Not quite. Full wipe on the Grenadiers. Oh my god. That was definitely not good news for Luciano. Still, Luciano's iron grip remains on the centre, though Nerbo sneak up to hit the right flank. Very good work there. Rifleman screaming for aid here in the centre as the MG42 just hammers them down. 25 kills. Scott back to being repaired. Assault is getting ready to push here. Could lay down a smoke screen roughly around here and then push for the point. There you go. Rifleman hit off on the rifle, finally routing them from the centre. Target tank sending in. Luciano could consider multiple zone, then smoke and then push ahead maybe. The assault in his charge without a smoke screen is very much easily deflected here by Luciano, and the Panzer Panzer the Shaw on the 6th Armoured, sadly not making any progress there. And there you go, Dog packs opening up on the Jackson, almost pushing down to half health there. Another hit, those bounces this time around. Scott firing away, obviously it's not going to do anything against the Tiger tank. Another Jackson here, and there you go, Scott under fire from the packs. Grab the other victory point. Scott does get away, assault is not quite so lucky. Pack 40 moving up, he's pushing ahead here. Luciano's on the offensive. He's going to try and deliver a killing blow. A final thrust into the heart of Nerbo to finish this once and for all. To slit his throat. Let him bleed out swiftly. But in this case, the Nerbo was able to deflect such a blow and push back Luciano, at least for now. But still, Luciano's situation remains precarious here versus... Nerbo's situation remains precarious versus Luciano, not the other way around, if I say that. Target tank there, close to veteran 2. Really good work with the target tank there for Luciano. Really good work. 108 points left for Nerbo. 304 for Luciano. Scott good to go there. Jackson almost done. Jackson moving in, and there we go, flanking hit on the Panzer 4. Close to veteran free on the Jackson tank, destroying the centre, rapidly getting hammered. Right on the right, there you go. TIE tank takes away from the Jackson tank, so but there you go, the pack front opens up, shearing away half the health of it. Assault is moving forward, but there's still the MG42, there's still the Tiger, there's still so much. We got assault artillery called in to back up the assault here for the assault units. The assault is about to get wiped out, by the way. Artillery firing down the Grenadiers. Ooh, close one there, but not quite. Assault units was the Tiger tank here, point blank range. Oh, there we go, double Jacksons piercing the Tiger tank's armour, pushing it down to less than half health. 63 though, versus 3 in the 4. Luciano still remains in a strong position though. Theoretically, they do have still roughly the same size force. Of course, the force compositions are notably different. In this regard, the tanks and Jacksons are of no real threat to the anti-tanks who easily cut through them. And this Nerbo's force is now rapidly dropping shoulder. 50 points left here for Nerbo versus the 3 and 4 of Luciano. This is very much looking like GG unless Nerbo pulls off a miracle here versus Luciano. I mean, never say never, but right now I wouldn't fault you if you said never. Panther rolling out with the Grenadiers. G43 is finally up. This is trying to use a bit more the docks in here versus Nerbo. And Scott's definitely, I think, done reasonably well in the short amount of time he's been on the battlefield, but it just wasn't enough, I think, to really rout Luciano's now going for a Panzerwerfer. There you go, Scott under fire from the Panzer 4, veterans 1 gained. Jackson shoots, hit the ground. Panzerwerfer almost done there. And straight up for the centre here, suppressed by the MG42. Rapidly advancing. Panzerwerfer almost done there for Luciano. Nerbo keeps it up, and there goes Scott moving in, veteran 2 gained. 10 kills. Jackson rushes through the centre here. Obviously the pack front is nearby and likely will just tear it apart. But Nerbo's a believer. A believer in democracy, freedom, liberty. Titan moving through here. Shot fired, missed. Directly in the mortar from the Tiger tank. Panzer off. And there you go, GG, game over. An absolutely brutal match right here on Langraskaya. Heavy attacks, heavy defenses, back and forth, action, Tiger tanks, tank destroyers, snipers, you name it. This fight had a lot of things there, an absolutely humdinger battle right here. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something from it. I hope it gives you ideas for matches. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment, tell your friends, tell your family, but don't tell your enemies. And if you like what I do, you can donate, pledge on Patreon. Every dollar allows me to keep doing this day after day, so do consider if you do like what I do. Links are in the video description. This is Imperial LinkedIn. Cheers. Thank you for watching. You all are a wonderful audience, so see you all again tomorrow. Cheers.